Like, I honestly think that the green versions are better right now because of the degeneracy of the format.
This card over that card.
Especially the one where you rest when you're focused. Yeah, and that's fine. I'm just saying, like, I don't think that there's an option that makes sense for you literally every
Well, I know what 4 cards are coming out. It may or may not be Might of Old Corrosa. Because it works really bad under bridge.
I mean, I think you leave at least 1 or 2. They're cool. They're a lot harder to get a full value out of than energy burst.
I'm gonna do that one just in case, because I don't know what infect sideboard is.
So like that'll affect your decisions in the game. You know what I mean?
There we go. What is that green enchantment? It's double green, colorless. Whenever a flying creature attacks, deal 3 damage.
Yeah?
That would be real good versus this.
I was actually just thought about running into the sideboard.
People are like doing that for spirits. And I was just thinking like, that really hurts this. All of mine are 1/1s. It doesn't matter how many I have.
Well, it's been like 3/4 of the game basically, like getting I mean, you know, the first half of the game is getting things set up, and the second half is if you're doing well in the match. But a lot of times, the first few games,
It's still not turning out.
like
Are you set?
they only start really feeling good.
Currently, I just have it on play
4 or 5
space.
Are they just talking about random stuff?
They can't. They're not mic. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Nothing's working. It's on like this. It's like.
I mean, I don't know. You might be thinking too much about it. It's just really hard to balance this I mean, it's like getting extra credit from Magic. How do you balance that? If you're getting everyone active saying it's chilled. It's cold from the car. Almost Isn't the pre-release tonight?
Yes.
Yep.
I brought in an air sideboard card. I really hope the interaction is relevant.
I have no idea. Narrow sideboard card. So it's not nature. It's like crap.
You can't work for spell guide if it's out.
Fair. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Like he played my some dude, chunky dude. Yeah. Okay.
That way we don't have to like worry about rushing.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, it's like if we're out of here by like 9:30, going over to Lucky Dog, isn't that funny? That's like.
What about this? Can you hear this? No one was really talking. How about now? Hi.
Okay. They've got beer there.
Fun fact, I'm still liking this deck.
No.
I'll be on the play.
Hey, John, you want to live commentate this match with me? Robert Meadows is a big smelly nerd.
That was the most immature insult I've heard.
This is a really bad hand.
Same.
Yeah, no, this is just unplayable.
I'll keep my I'm keeping No,
It's
this
probably
is
like
great, actually.
turn 2.
No, I like that idea.
Taxi.
No, I need that cord to buy a
need-
lollipop.
I want Inquisition, Thoughtseize. Let's do that. And Dark Slick Shorts. I don't care what the rest of the cards are. I'll be like, I'll draw something. I'll go to a top deck war right off the bat. I'll try it. Oh.
think I'm the only person that gets actively upset about lies.
No, I do too.
I hate it.
You lost rounds? Well, don't lose rounds.
I can't
ready?
beat mono
Yeah.
ever.
Players, pairings for round 2.
I play 5 rounds on turn 2 and I die. Because I can't kill somebody.
That is available super. Like it's not horrible, but like you know, just think about most games have like the ability to exile cards from your hand over time. But like those effects.
You know what we could do? Also, just like curious if we're not what they are, the technologies, and I'm sure Rick can kind of go on really bad.
I don't know what that fucking is.
Destroy target artifact.
That is nice.
Disenchant's Deliverance.
What's the? Is that cycling then?
Yeah.
Okay.
For what they were.
No.
Is that your narrow cyborg card? 'Cause that
No.
doesn't seem very narrow to me.
One year. Go.
Got him.
God, that's 3 mana. That's great.
Make it.
Yep. Is that a sorcery?
No, it's instant.
Okay.
It's a staple of Teamer Energy.
I didn't play Teamer Energy.
It was the worst time ever. That's not true. Unless you played Teamer Energy, it was the best time ever.
You don't have to. It's not really.
2 years.
Yep.
A little fast there, Bobby.
Crazy start.
Yep.
I won. I don't even need to start, and then Jack also.
Pented Prism?
Yep.
Black? Cool.
I won.
Like we're going for it.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Tired is that other than those basic
I got. Yep.
Should have like a small. Most games give like one less of a small.
Yep.
All right, Jack. Do it.
Yep. No blocks? Yep. Okay.
One of each. Or 3 actors.
It's hilarious.
Or 2 of 1.
Oh, God, I'm gonna die to that too. Search for Escanto?
Yep.
Cool.
So many stuff to kill you right now.
What?
I have so many cards off the top to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
At least get the infect totals up. Okay, now we're good. Now you can kill him. I had to at least get infect up.
Oh, okay. Pass on your a ancient or assassin's trophy or Econ Nexus.
Is this one? No, it's not. You brought it. It's fine. All right.
Yep, that's what I figured would happen. Go for it.
That's so bad.
Couldn't have just like paid the blue and then like not have the mana that I was hoping.
My life total doesn't matter in this matchup.
You're right. I was just hoping you'd like misplay.
Would it? It's likely. Not likely, but it's possible.
You know. Hey, I went for it. I tried.
I explosioned myself to death with explosion when my opponent had an visit out because I made them draw cards because I'm so used to 1 instance of draw being per spell.
You fucked up.
I died. Consequently, it was the exact amount they needed to kill me and the exact amount for the
Troll?
amount.
Yep, am I dead?
2.
Yeah, no blocks.
Go to 6.
6.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Go.
What mean is he dead?
Black.
So basically, John, what you said is you did the big. You did the.
I did a big ditty.
Oh my god, I didn't even do a search. Yeah, that's fine. Make a
gonna be
blue.
honest,
Cast
I
on
thought
Silver?
Yep.
in the graveyard.
So I've got a blue in my pole.
Yep.
My
2 more blue. Were for 3.
Yep.
Cool. Let me get a bridge. White bordered bridge. 8th edition. Passenger. I should remember remember my own goddamn search triggers. I know, right? I'm really pretty good at it. I'm not used to playing with a creature artifact, so I like don't know where to put it.
On the battlefield.
Before that.
You believe that? I believe. I encourage you.
Groundswell. You played a landmark turn?
Yep.
Redirect. Got a big boy.
Eric, did you pay life to redirect? Or
No, I would use blue for Darkslick Shores. It was untapped.
Plus defense.
How many cards do you have in hand? 4. So right now it's a 1/2.
Yep.
Hexproof? Yeah, that's fine. It's a 3/4 now.
4 of a single. Yeah.
Saying why are these?
Because it's harder to get 4 of a single than it is to get 5.
I'm saying compared to these. This is,
Oh, I don't know.
one.
That's part of it.
So it's a 4/5 right now, right? No,
3/4.
3/4 right now. Got 3. I'm just trying to remember that. That's fine. So it goes to 5.
Take 5.
Okay. 14.
Yep.
Trigger. Actually, I want that. E for 1. I was like, how does he beat that?
I had 3 draws that killed you at any point.
Yep. Yep, you did. You did.
I like it now.
I'll go over it just whenever you're done with it.
Oh yeah, I'm
Oh,
done.
you
Lost
mean
defense.
you?
No, I could have killed him my previous turn.
I will not comment.
No, I'm dumb. I forgot about block. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, you blossom defense my spell sky?
No, I block defense you can't redirect block defense because it's target creature you control.
Wait, you blossom defense what?
No, I could beat him before. Yeah, I could have beat him because I could double blossom defense +4/+4.
So in regards to what you mentioned, it doesn't exactly work that way, but there's another way I'll talk to you about later. It's very unintuitive.
No, he can't redirect my blossom defense.
Oh, I almost forgot to put my search back in.
That's important.
There's something
It is.
else, but yes, that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the hexproof thing?
No, so it's blossom defense as attacks this target creature you control.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. Okay, I can't redirect that.
Yeah, I know. I had lethal. Cool.
I'm glad we know that now.
I mean, that's why I play this.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is why... I'm still learning to deck in my defense.
You play it to lose?
Yeah.
No, I'm just learning this deck still.
There's
Do
a lot
I
of
actually? You know
weird
what?
things that never come up. Really useful.
Like 30 minutes. That should be the timer after you
I want that.
No, I realized I had killed him when I was casting blossom defense on the spells on my nobles. Like, oh, I could have killed him last turn.
Doing it.
Well,
Yeah!
that line is contingent, but
You
even
can be
that is
celebrating.
good.
You got it.
Doesn't matter.
I'm shorting the market, baby.
I hate to
Right.
Shouldn't you love technology?
technology.
Shouldn't you love it though?
No. So I managed to open 2 of SNAS, which is armor software, 2 instances of it at the same time. So I got a pop-up that says current instance of SNAS is already running. And so I was like, okay, close. Get another pop-up. Current instance of SNAS is already running. Okay, so close it. And then they're all closed. There's no instance. They both canceled each other out. So the stage mag is just on.
Sounds like a bug.
Yeah, I mean.
I want.
That's the least of our concerns right now.
That's good. I need.
Isn't working. Something that I can just use.
I think that's worth it.
We'll see.
6 flat.
I'm big gun.
Are you gonna be able to play?
Yep.
See, now you have plenty of time to kill.
Right.
Okay.
Actually, can you just say it?
What? Who else is playing
Just a minute,
Thopter
this
Sword?
computer will be rebooted.
Okay, yeah, he's the
Some
sole
problem.
other
Hold
person
on,
that does
hold.
that. This build's similar to his. I showed him those originally, and then I put mine on.
Oh, yeah, that's important. We tried to
Yeah, dude. I like clunky artifact decks that don't work well, because this deck's really awkward with Mox Opal.
Yeah,
you don't turn it on very fast.
Oh, it flickered like we have life.
But it is very useful.
Seems very essential.
Mox Opal? No.
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
No, you just get a
like
just
zero mana artifacts.
you don't run a lot of zero mana artifacts. You
Oh,
run
that's weird.
Mox
guess it
Opals
makes
and no, 2 different so you run welding jars and Mox Opal, that's only 0 drops.
That's weird.
So you're not turning it on like turn 0 unless you have like 2.
You keeping?
Yeah, we're keeping. But it does help, like facilitate some of it, because this is a bad combo. Like Thopter Sword is not good. EL keeps right. So like it does help it, but it's not essential.
We got 4 rounds of hot modern action.
Yeah, right before the pre-release.
That's right. Tonight is our pre-release. We get to play Ravnica Allegiance for the very first time. I'm so excited.
Yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah. I've got another 4 hours to pick my guild. I've been stressing out about it all week. No, I'm not. I'm not picking Rakdos. I think Rakdos is the worst guild.
If I were playing, I'd pick Orzhov.
I'm picking Orzhov or Gruul. I've narrowed it down to those 2. I also think Simic is quite good. Simic has a great late game. I am not playing Rakdos. Rakdos is heavily contingent on its rares and uncommons. I think that if you're the only Rakdos player at your table, in a draft, you can end up with a good deck, but I'm not banking on that tonight.
Yeah. Well, let's see what's going on here. So we got Eric.
They're 1-1. They went to game 3. That's awesome.
Eric won a game. Wow, nice.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
See, we have my favorite card in his hand. We've got a Thopter Foundry in his hand.
Yeah, this is your kind of deck.
Yeah. I love this combo. I have tried to make this combo.
Walk us through the combo.
Okay, so what you have is you have Thopter Foundry, which is a 1 blue and a split white or black for an artifact. You can pay 1, sacrifice an artifact, and then you get a 1/1 Thopter, a blue Thopter, and you gain a life. That works with Sword of the Meek in tandem to allow you to pay 1 mana and get a Thopter every single turn, as much as you want. Because Sword of the Meek says, when a 1/1 enters the battlefield, you return Sword of the Meek from your graveyard to the battlefield. So basically what happens is you sacrifice the sword. Then the sword's in the graveyard, the 1/1 is seen by the Sword of the Meek, and it returns to play. So you've done a cycle of paid 1 mana, getting a Thopter, gained a life. And you can do this in a couple of ways. Like, you'd think, oh, what if they have like a surgical extraction on your Sword of the Meek? Well, if that happens, you can just sacrifice another artifact, get another 1/1, get another trigger, and then they just miss.
Yeah, so basically they would have to save the surgical for like when you're out of mana. Then.
Correct, yes.
Because you only get to repeat the combo for as much as you have 1 mana.
Correct.
All right, is Robert going for it?
He's got, he has a rebounded, whatever that blue spell is, gives target creature unblockable and +1/+1. Distortion strike? Yeah, Distortion Strike.
Distortion Strike. It's a good one.
Yep, he killed me with it yesterday.
Nice. Mutagenic growth.
We got a 4-power creature here that's unblockable.
Yeah.
Okay, so that puts him to 6 infect now. Yep. Rebound zone.
He'll get it on. He'll get it on the rebound. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with Eric forcing this to a game 3. I can only imagine what happened game 2 or game 1. Hell, I guess he could have won the first game. Bridge.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Bridge got it.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bridge is a good card.
Bridge is a card.
Yeah. So what I'm doing here, this is what I'm doing. I am, first off, I'm escalating this brutality that's in his hand.
Yeah, brutality.
I'm going to be neg-2ing the Glistener Elf and duressing him. So then he's going to redirect it to, no, you Assassin's Trophy first. You got to Assassin's Trophy first. This is hard.
Is it?
It's hard because the Spellskite, because you won't kill it, he'll redirect twice.
Yeah.
So you got to Thought Seize. That's what you got to do. You have to Thought Seize.
Yeah, okay.
You got to take the card out of it. You basically just have to get rid of the card in his hand.
Well, then he should Thought Seize and he can Thought Seize an Assassin's Trophy then, because like if he Thought Seizes, then how many cards does Robert have?
One.
Well, then you don't have to ask. Like the Collective Brutality would take care of that. Like the Collective
I'm thinking about
like,
not casting Brutality this turn.
Right. So then he Thought Seizes an Assassin's Trophies, and then Robert redirects the Assassin's Trophy to the Spellskite. Is that where you're trying to be?
Well, I'm thinking you can't beat the current board because you don't have enough mana to do everything you want.
Right. So
you have to deal with the situation you're given. So
okay.
yeah, so you have to Thought Seize, realize he doesn't have anything. So then you gotta Assassin's Trophy the Glistener Elf in response to his targeting.
Right.
And then targeting with the rebound spell. And then he's gonna redirect it. That's just getting 2 damage on him.
It gets the Spellskite out of the way. So
and then
next
turn
he can kill with the Brutality.
Correct.
Okay, well, let's see if Erik sees the line here. I like that. We walk our way through it, and we got there. Let's see if he does. You know, I make fun of the card Collective Brutality all the time because it's very good.
Ooh, actually, I think there's a different. No, that you can't block it. I forgot. I keep thinking it's like I want to block with a Thopter, but you can't block.
This is the other situation. This is one of the other decks, Collective Brutality. Collective Brutality is like historically very good against burn.
Now this is
also very good against infect. No, this is not the right line.
Correct. He's going to redirect, and then he doesn't have another removal spell for the Glistener Elf.
And the life gain here is irrelevant. You see he pitched a card.
Yeah.
The life gain here is irrelevant. So he's going to not kill anything.
It's okay.
Drain.
So think about. It's not irrelevant because this is the reason why it's not irrelevant. The Thopter Founder is redundant, right?
Okay.
He wants to have low cards in hand, so if he gets down a bridge.
Yeah, but he
doesn't have the mana to actually be able to do this. So, what did he draw? Am I dead? Says Erik. Not dead. He goes to 9. Oh, I don't think he was beating that draw anyways. Oh no! I know what he was doing. Oh, this was brilliant by Erik. Okay,
what is he doing?
So he has a Penthead Prism in. He needed to escalate again. Yeah, he messed up. He needed to escalate again just to get another card out of his hand.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I did mess up. I should have duressed you.
See, he just said it. Yeah, he just said I should have duressed you too.
So that he can get like as low of a land count as possible.
No, low cards in hand because now he has the. Yeah, he had the Penthead Prism. Now he has a 2-drop in his hand.
Okay.
Yep, I got you, Justin.
Right. So because he drew the Penthead Prism, okay, that's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said the discard was relevant. I guess he should have done it again.
He could bridge here. Like if he had one less card, the bridge would be stopping this attack. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but now he's just dead. Oh, well, no, he's not. He's not just dead. He's actually alive. No, he's not. He can just redirect. Ah, God.
Yeah, so close. So close.
So close in so many ways.
It's Robert's objective here. Robert is trying to kill Erik before he gets down the
Oh,
the bridge.
he can. Okay. Okay, so that's one thing he can do. Erik can make 2 Thopters, and he can block both of the Glisteners.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
You're tapped out, right? Yep. What blows me out? I can do all this at instant.
Can't he can Assassin's Trophy 1 and then make a Thopter and block the other
No,
one,
he
right?
can't because Spellskite.
Okay.
Use 1 mana, sack Penthead, get a Thopter.
Okay.
Sack Thopter, get a Thopter. So I gain 2 life. Yep.
Yep, he's just doing this now. Am I dead? Block, block.
Pump 1.
Loses them both.
Loses one of them.
Or, well,
that's
both.
a that's a.
Yeah. Oh, what is that? What's that? What did he draw? Opal. Okay.
Opal.
So close. Same situation.
Yeah.
If he would have duressed.
Well, this is a game where it all comes down to bridge, which is a big reason why people don't like the card bridge, is because it just like completely warps the game around itself.
Yep.
That is the major. That's the major complaint about bridge and cards like bridge, is once it's on the battlefield, nothing else really matters.
Yep.
It's not very interesting. That's why they don't make cards like that anymore. And if they do, it's targeted against a specific strategy.
Yeah.
That's why they keep printing Tron hate cards.
And Storm hate cards.
Yeah.
There were so many sets in a row there was the Storm hate card.
I would like to see a new Graveyard hate card. Well, that'll do it for round 1. Let's try and get a backup match.
Yeah, I'll go try and find someone.
Okay, thank you. I'll sit back here and maybe talk about some Ravnica Allegiance cards.
Well, I was thinking that
Okay. So there are a number of, let me get my phone out so I can look at them. There are a number of cards in the new set that I'm really excited about, more from a, from a limited perspective. I mean, obviously, like, I'm really excited about Scare the Critics for my Modern Burn deck. But I've really mostly been thinking about the set from a limited perspective, trying to figure out what the key commons are and all of that. Are there any cards any of you at home are excited about? There we are. I know, like, I know right off the top of my head, like, there's a 2/5 that can't be blocked. There's a 2/5 for 5 with vigilance that can't be blocked, which I think is really interesting. It just lets you get a free 2 damage in every turn, and then leaves you with a 5 toughness blocker, which is really important. Like, a lot of the creatures in this set seem to have 3 power or toughness, so a 5 toughness blocker every single turn that can chip in for 2 is really sweet. Did you get a backup match?
No.
Okay.
Everyone's in game, and they all didn't look close to finishing.
Okay. Well, that's okay. I'm just talking about Ravnica Allegiance cards. I'm trying to pull up the. Let's see. I'm trying to pull up the spoiler. See if anyone at home is interested in what they're excited about.
So this is my creature, right? You don't give it extra. You give it the
Yeah, I also really like. I really like Skitter Eel. That card is sweet. As a baseline, it's a hill giant. It's a blue hill giant. But when you untap, you have, by default, because it's a 4-drop, you have the requisite 3 mana to adapt it. So basically, you're going to get to untap and attack with a 3 power, 3 toughness creature for free into whatever they've got, and threaten to make it a 5/5. So if they block, you just get to kill whatever it is they block with, which is sweet. But so they're probably not going to block, and then you get to build up your board even more. So a lot of what's interesting about the adapt creatures is the adapt creatures whose adapt cost is less than, or I guess 1 greater because you could play a land, then their converted mana cost will always threaten to be able to be adapted the turn that they can attack. It basically means that they have menace, because you have to put enough power and toughness in front of them to trade with it, because you can activate, which is really sweet. And it gives you the ability to trade up, or just get in for some damage, and then continue to build your board. So your opponent is given the option to whether or not they want to trade with that creature.
There are, for me, in terms of cards that are new that I like, there are 2 cards that I'm really interested in.
Okay.
I like the one mana 1/1 flyer that adapts. That guy, I think there's some argument to play him over Swiftspear in Modern in the Arclight deck.
I think he would play that. Yeah, there's that, or you can play it over Crackling Drake. Doesn't it do the same thing?
I don't think you play it over Crackling Drake because that draws a card.
Oh my God!
So you go off once, right?
Fair.
You go off once, and then it's a refuel to keep going.
It draws a card, and if you untap with it, they're basically dead. I understand. This is a 2-drop. This is a 2-mana 5/5 flyer.
Right.
Which is pretty sweet, I have to say. I do think that it's really interesting. Like, this is clearly like a Simic design card. It will probably be better in your like Azorius limited decks because you're going to have more instants and sorceries to get the cost down. That, or it's just like a constructed design card, which is entirely possible. All right, I've got the spoiler finally.
The other one I'm really excited for is Angel of Grace.
Yeah, Angel of Grace is sweet. That's like actually just the first card in the set.
Yeah. I have always been a fan of like blue-white flash in Standard.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that's just really
that fits exactly into that deck.
It's perfect. You know, like I really like what's insane about this card is it could not have this like middle thing where it has like
and
the
be a good card.
It's still a great card.
Yeah,
like it's a 5/4. It's a 5/4 flying.
Yeah,
like that's really good. As flash, so you get to hold up all of your counter spells.
Yeah,
you get to hold up the new like 5-mana draw 3.
Yeah, the insane thing about blue-white flash in this meta.
Yeah.
So. Imagine your opponent has 5 mana open versus blue-white. You know, they could have Ral.
Yeah, they could.
They could have that. They could have a Settle the Wreckage. There's so many different things that they could have that you can't play around them all.
No, you can't. You just got to make them have it.
Yeah, you got to make them have whatever answer that they have to have. And
every time.
Yeah, and if you try, let's say you try and play around Settle while they have an Angel of Grace in hand. It's like, oh, I played around Settle. Well, I'm just gonna block your one thing with my giant Angel.
I mean, that's like okay, you're playing around like you don't like you've got the Gruul Spellbreaker, and you just like attack them with this 3/3 and they flash this into play. Sure.
Yep.
Whatever.
But
it's fine.
That's what I'm a fan of.
Yeah, Angel of Grace is pretty sweet.
What else is there?
I cast it on this. And I try to recast.
Hero of Precinct 1 seems really cool. The 2/2 for 2. Oh, I didn't realize it was a 2/2. That's cool. But it's at least a bear. Anyway, whenever you cast, yeah, here it is. So like this, you play this on turn 2, and then just play like all of your multicolor spells. And every turn you're getting a human. Now, it's a good thing that this says cast, because if it was just like, God, if you could start like Aether Vialing in your, could you imagine? Because like it's a human.
It's a human.
And it makes humans. It makes humans.
Stop.
It makes humans.
Stop. I don't want to hear this anymore. Stop.
No, but you have to cast them. You have to cast them, and humans doesn't cast their spells. They put them in on Aether Vial.
Oh my gosh.
But I just thought that was funny. It makes a human. Like, they intentionally do not make cards where the tokens are humans. I don't know if you noticed that, but in the last set, they were all 1/1 life. They were all 1/1 soldiers.
Oh, yeah, they're always soldiers.
They're just... It's interesting. Like, tokens very rarely have the creature type, the human creature type. They'll just have the class. They'll just have, like, soldier or warrior. But you will have like elf tokens or elf warrior tokens, but you won't have like human soldier tokens.
Yeah.
This makes a human, and there's also a 3/6 giant that makes a human. So those are the two cards that make the human tokens, but this one does. And I just thought that was interesting. But you have to cast them. So I don't think this will be too busted. There's like talk about like a standard aristocrats deck that plays this.
That'd be
this can be part of the engine.
There's a nutty like Goblins Aristocrats deck.
Yeah. Skirk Prospector and
that's nutty.
Yeah, there's a couple of different decks that are trying to exploit like Judith, who we'll get to as I work my way down this.
Yeah.
I really like Miscreant of Obligation. It's a 2/1 for 3 with Afterlife 2. So like what's really great about a lot of the Afterlife cards is the ones that are good on curve. They're exactly what you want them to be. There's like this, and then there's a 2/1 for 1 and a black Vigilant. There's this guy, and then there's the there's a 2/1 for 2 with Vigilance with Afterlife 1. So early you want like these like more like high power creatures, so they can like trade And then later, when they're irrelevant, you just block. Just block.
Yeah.
And then you have 2/1/1s, which with flying, which is exactly where you want to be because now the board is gummed up. This card plays into like the Orzhov limited decks really well. You can splash white in your Rakdos decks because both care a lot about like having sacrifices, and this card gives you 3 creatures to sacrifice, which is really sweet. I really like this card a lot. It's a key uncommon.
One thing to point out about this card, I was thinking about when I was looking at this card. If you compare this card to Lingering Souls,
yeah, I mean,
just look at the value. It's like you get
like
3 bodies.
You get 3 bodies
for
3 mana. Yeah.
Instead of 4, you get 4 for 5. That's kind of on par.
Well, especially like you're like with Lingering Souls, you're getting 4 power and you're getting 4 power, 4 toughness. This is 4 power, 3 toughness.
Yeah.
It's only on 3 bodies, but that's
some of
the
it doesn't fly.
Part. It doesn't. Yeah, that's the relevant part. But for the upfront cost. Yeah, I like this card a lot. I think it's gonna be a role player.
What else we got?
Sentinel's Mark is cool. I usually really don't like aura cards, but this one has the upside of having flash.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, it's a +1/+2 in vigilance, and then it has addendum. So if you play it on your main phase, it gains lifelink. So if you're ahead and you just get a really good attack lineup with this, it can completely swing the game. And I think this is how the white cards are supposed to get themselves from the early to the middle and then late game is with cards like this and what's the other one? It's up here. Oh, Arrester's Zeal, like the little pump spells and stuff. So like the problem with a lot of the white cards in this set is that they're just smaller than the eventual, and like the green cards. Arrester's Zeal is a really great combat trick. If you cast it's good both offensive and defensive. If you cast it during your main phase, you'll get flying, so you get a great attack in. Or it's just your standard like little combat trick. +2/+2 lets you trade up. You're basically trading this, like you're trading this for their 3/3 when they block your 2/2 with their 3/3, which I think is cool. So I think that's really what white has to bring to the table and how white is going to match up against like the green decks, against the adapt creatures and stuff, is with their combat tricks. And so I wouldn't undervalue those if you decide to play white tonight. Sky Tether is sweet. You enchant for 1 white, you get to enchant a creature, and it gives it defender and loses flying, which is pretty sweet.
Ooh.
Lose flying. So like if you're having a flyer's mirror, you get their best flyer out of the way. It's like, well, I don't really care because I'm not attacking on the ground.
Right.
I think this is really interesting because like the creature always gains defender, and if it has flying, that's just gone.
Yep.
I like that one a lot. It's a very interesting. So like some of these cards have a really sweet design. The design space on some of these is really cool. Unbreakable Formation is awesome. 3 mana instant. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn.
Oh, yeah.
If you cast this spell during your main phase, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on each of them.
It's a counter?
A +1/+1 counter, and they gain vigilance.
I thought it was just +1/+1.
No,
this turn.
This card is sick. This card is just sick.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah. So like
that reminds me of
it doesn't matter. You attack with all your guys. None of them are dying, and then you don't even lose out because they have vigilance. You don't even die to the crackback. I love it. I love this card. It's great.
Still die to settle though.
Yeah. I'm thinking more. I don't know. I've barely been thinking about constructed for these.
Yeah.
I'm trying to assess these from a
limited
perspective. Yeah. So like I've mostly been looking at like the commons and stuff. I know this is a rare. If you get this, you're playing it. But I've been mostly trying to look at like the commons. And I think white and blue both have a really, really great like white and blue have like the highest. The highest number of just playable cards, something that would always like makes your deck and very rarely gets cut. They have just like the most playables. including like a lot of playables at common. So if you have, the benefit of being Azorius tonight would be that you're most likely to have like a lot of just solid cards, whereas like the cards in some of the other colors have a lot more of a disparity between their power level. Like, don't get me wrong, there are good cards in every color. Like this one, for example. Like this is an excellent white. This is an excellent blue common. It's a Frost Lynx. Flyer.
That's a really good card.
Yeah, it's great.
That
you know?
3/3 for 5 and limited with flying is good.
The thing I've noticed about the set is there's so many, there's like a glut of very playable 5-drops. You're going to be, because you really only want like 1 to 3 5-drops in your deck. I could see you having like 4 plus just because they're so playable, or just having to make a lot of cuts. The other thing that I've seen is that there aren't like a lot of like great 2s and 3s. It's all about your 4s and 5s. So this is a much slower format. And this is great because it's going to take a blocker out of the equation for 2 turns and leave behind a 3/3 flyer. This is a great card, and one of the reasons to be in blue. So I just, that's like this card's great. This is just what I'm talking about. Like, I've been looking a lot at like the commons, and this is really what like blue has going for it.
Now, one thing, what do you think of? So I know the last format, was really all about that 3-mana enchantment Dimir.
Oh, disinformation campaign. Yeah.
What do you think of the disinformation campaign of this set, the blue-white one?
The information campaign.
Yeah, it's Dovin's
Acuity. Yeah, Dovin's Acuity. I'm calling it Dovin's Acuity because
Dovin's Acuity.
Dovin's Acuity. I mean, it's like I always say: when you got the face, you don't need the hair. So yeah, Dovin's Acuity is pretty cool. Like, you're gonna play this in a deck with enough addendum cards. It's good. It's like how the blue deck is gonna catch back up. Card advantage. The 2 life isn't to be undermined. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I mean, like, it gives you yet another reason to play your addendum cards. Well, it has to be an instant.
It has to be an instant or sorcery.
Which
it has to be an instant.
It has to be an instant. It has to be an instant. Doesn't have to have addendum, which is cool. Just any instant during your main phase. Because there aren't really a lot of like non-instants. There's like an enchantment, enchantment I was talking about. Surprisingly, none of the like. I was expecting like a flash creature to have addendum, and I don't think there is one. But this card is cool. It's not as good as Disinformation Campaign.
Yeah.
But Disinformation always beats information. I mean, like. Working my way down the blue cards, Fairy Duelist is a card that I like a lot. I actually think that this could see play in. I was talking to some people about this seeing play in Pauper, but Fairy Duelist is sweet. 1 in a blue, flash. There it is. So this is a great combat trick. Like, you're gonna make their like you're gonna exactly, like you're gonna make their this can trade with a 3/1 and survive. Like, you make their 3/1 a 1/1 and then trade with it. Just a solid all right. And then you don't even have to block with this. You can just block with, this is good early and late. Like, you make their 3/3 a 1/3 and then block with your 3/3. This is a great card, and it's good in every phase of the game. It has relevance in the beginning, middle, and end, which is not something you can say. And then you leave behind a 1/2 flyer. And that's not something that you can always say about a 2-drop. Like, so the really good 2-drop creatures and limited are good any point in the game. It's not just about having an advantage early, because games are going to go long.
Now, what this format's really going to be about is how many persistent petitioners you're going to get.
Oh, the meme potential. Those things are pre-selling on Star City Games for $2. By the way. So hold on. To your advisors. No, I'm not kidding. Like, people are talking about this in Pauper. I mean, look at the last line. Look at the last line of text. Yeah,
it's pretty good.
You can play 40 of these. Play 40 and 20 islands. That's probably not right. You could actually probably play more.
So,
what would a persistent petitioner's deck look like?
In Pauper? Or in
in Pauper.
So
it's a common.
You'd play the. I think you play the thing from. What's the thing that gets you 3 energy and lets you mill 1 too?
Oh, I don't know, but yeah.
So there's a thing from Kaladesh. You get 3 energy when it enters.
That's an uncommon.
That's an uncommon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Darn.
okay. That was I was thinking about modern then.
Yeah, too bad.
Too bad.
Your mono blue mill deck.
What are some advisors in common advisors?
Oh God, it's any advisor.
Any advisor.
Any advisor. Well, I don't know why you wouldn't just play this one.
Well, so
some of the other ones might be better.
Right. So you, I mean,
any advisor. That's hysterical.
I'm gonna look this up.
Okay.
Quick.
Yeah, building it. Okay, so there's an advisor's mill deck in Pauper. Great. Good job, Wizards. Fantastic. Moving right along.
Sure.
Mass manipulation. This is a bomb. It makes me think that there's like a mono blue deck in limited because this thing costs 4 blue. 4 blue.
Ooh, geez, that's a lot of blue.
XX 4 blue. So at minimum, you're casting this for 6. It's a 6 mana control magic. It's it's like an Imbolus Clutches. Now, if you cast this for 8, you're getting 2 and winning the game.
I think that's a little steep.
It is.
I don't think this is particular. So if you're doing the limited resources, like scaling, this is C+ for me.
So this is a 6. So like the problem with this card is the deck building restriction. You need to be playing this in a deck with like 10+ islands to be able to cast on turn 4 consistently. Like Frank Carson did an article this week that was really great.
You're casting on turn 6, not 4.
Turn 6 consistently. Yeah. So if you have 10 islands in your deck, you can cast this like I think 75% of the time on turn 6. If you have 10 islands, maybe even like 60. It's anyway. You want like 10 or 11 islands in your deck to be able to consistently cast this on turn 6, and that's the best you're gonna get. And in limited, like when you're playing 17 lands, like 10 is the most you're going to have of any one color. Guild Gates help, they do. So I can definitely see. So if you get this, you're going to want to pick up like the Simic or Azorius Guild Gates like more highly, so you can have more blue sources. But yeah, like 10 or 11 blue sources is really where you're going to try to be. If you like pack one, pick one this, you're going to want to prioritize blue cards really heavily, and then your Guild Gates. So it is tough, and it is very like mana intensive, but I mean it's a hell of a card. Like you take their best creature, you take their best 2 creatures on 8 mana. This card's insane.
Yeah, if you can cast it.
If you can cast it. If you can cast it. With this being a multicolor set, it's tough. Right next to that is mesmerizing Benthid. God, this thing's cool. It's an octopus.
Oh, that already makes it the best card in the set.
It's an octopus. It's a 5 mana octopus. 4/5 enters the battlefield. You get 2/0/2 illusions, and they have a little squid. See, isn't that cute?
Yeah.
And it makes a little squid. I think it's adorable. It makes like a little cuttlefish. And the squid, the little tokens have text. Whenever this creature blocks a creature, that creature doesn't untap during their controller's next untap step. And it's hexproof as long as you control an illusion.
That's really good.
It's really good. I'm seeing if
in limited, if that's insane if you pull that.
I don't know if they're okay. I was looking. The Chillbringer from earlier is an elemental. Okay, I was seeing if there were other illusions. I think the tokens that this makes are the only illusions. So I'll keep an eye out. If there are other illusions in the set, this gets better. But like that means that you're only going to want to block with one of these tokens like ever, because you're going to want to keep this hexproof, and then you just get to choose when that is. I'm also kind of surprised that it doesn't have flying, but then again, that would make it insane. This would have to be like 6 mana.
I mean, when does an octopus fly?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that's fair. It's just a big 4/5. This card's great. If you get it, you're playing it. It's a bomb. It's a very good card. It's an obviously push card. Precognitive Perception is a card that's both good in limited and constructed. That's the 5 mana draw 3 cards.
Oh yeah,
this is great. Yeah, this card is great. If you can like get to the point where you're stable and cast this, you're set for the rest of the game. And I'm talking in both standard and limited. This is an all-star.
Strictly better Jace's Ingenuity.
Yeah, man. This card is sweet.
I like this card.
I like it a lot too. Yeah, you're just set up like getting to Scry 3. You're just set up the rest of the game. You just have gas.
like, so one card to like that kind of compares to this, like the card that I thought of when I looked at this, is 4C.
Mm-hmm.
You know what 4C does?
4C, yeah. What is it? You draw 4 and discard 2, or what?
4C is a 4-mana sorcery that draws scry 4, draw 4.
Oh, okay.
So you're paying 1 more mana for a little bit more flexibility.
Is that from Future Sight?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I think it is. It has like the.
It's from Future Sight.
It's from Future Sight, so it's got like the eyes and then another set of eyes on top. Yeah, that's from Future Sight. That's cool. That's a good one. Terramander, Skitter Eel. One of my favorite cards of the set. Loves me some Skitter Eel. Skitter Eel is really good.
Yep.
So, like, you're going to want to pick, if you're in a draft, you're going to want to prioritize these really highly because both Simic and Azorius are going to want this card really highly. Like, this is one of the key commons in the set, not just blue, but in general. This is a very great card. I was talking about it earlier.
Yep.
Just like off the top of my head, this is the one that gets me really excited. So, at base, it's a Hill Giant. It's a 3/3 for 4. And what's really great about the creatures with adapt, where their adapt is the same, less, or 1 more, because you can always play a land when you untap, you're threatening to adapt this. So really, when this is attacking, it's a 5/5. They have to block with 5 power worth of creatures if they want to trade with it. And that gives you you're always threatening to activate it if proper legal advice. There are no other proper legal advisors. Close. So this is always threatening to be a 5/5, which I think is just excellent. Like I was saying, this creature basically has menace. Okay, we're looking at Robert Meadows versus Michael Farrell. Who wants to? King of the Hill, table 2. Table 2. Can't pass it up. So I think we've worked our way through the white and blue cards. We'll keep going. Skitter Eel, great card. You get it in your pool. Play this card. If they take when they take the 3, because they will take the 3, do not adapt it. Just pass or play another creature and hold up something else sweet.
The one thing that's really insane about the adapt mechanic,
you can always adapt later.
You can do it at instant speed.
Yeah, you can do it at instant speed.
I feel like the adapt mechanic should be like adapt only as a sorcery.
Nope.
You know, but it's like you can do it whenever.
You can untap and hold up the Frilled Mystic. What
does that do?
It's the new Mystic Snake. This one's a 3/2. You get for an extra blue, for the low cost of double blue, double green, you get a 3/2 with flash that counters a spell. Because yeah.
Yep.
I think that I always really like Mystic Snake because it's Grizzly Bear plus Counterspell, and so so this card is whatever a double green 3/2 is plus Counterspell. So double green gets you a 3/2 and double blue gets you Counterspell, which is sweet. So like when you untap with your Skittering Eel, you can attack and hold this up and pass. And if they play something, you get to counter, and if they don't, you get to adapt your guy. That's why adapt is good, and that's why Skittering Eel is good. Okay, well, I think we worked our way through. Oh, there are a couple of other good blue cards. We'll start there, and
here we're going into